distinguished leaders of the Jewish community in Italy, distinguished rabbi, ambassadors of Israel to Italy and to the Vatican, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished all of you. The state of Israel had known during the last 15 months the most difficult time in its history from its independence war. And this is the reason why I joined the government, knowing it's an historical time in which we have to strengthen our people, our government, our state, without any other considerations, and be a partner to very important and historical decisions. We were attacked in seven fronts, different fronts. It is very important to emphasize it, and I did it in my interviews in Italian media, because most of the people think, well, you were attacked on October 7, it was really a barbaric attack, you were slaughtered on October 7, but afterwards you just killed Palestinians. And the truth is that while we were here in a beautiful hotel in Rome during the night, the cell phone of my wife, Geula, which is with us here, had this siren call of the alarm, because its application goes with it, and that was an alarm of missile came from Yemen, and our children already get used to wake up in the middle of the night and run to the shelter. We have a floor shelter. Yemen, Iran, Iraq, countries without even, they don't share a common border with us. No excuse, no reason for attack. We were attacked not only by Hamas on October 7 from Gaza Strip, but also by the Hezbollah on October 8. So here's the twisted picture of the Western media. We are not the aggressor. We are the one that was attacked and still attacked in any of those fronts. Some people are frustrated. We were successful. We were able to meet an incredible challenge. And we did it in a step-by-step approach. But the truth, it was not only a military, powerful attack, missiles from so many fronts, but also a political attack, a legal warfare attack against the state of Israel with one objective: to eliminate the Jewish state. This is the objective. This is the objective of Iran. This is the objective of the Palestinians. This is the objective of the Houthis in Yemen. This is the objective of Hezbollah. And they believe they could do that. I know it sounds strange, but our intelligence brought the documents from Gaza Strip. They already decided between themselves, started discussions, who will take this part or other part, who will rule the region of Rehovot. So for them, it's not a long-term vision or ideology. It is a practical objective to eliminate the Jewish state. What is the difference between Hamas and the Nazis? I asked that question on the first week after October 7, and I said, after we saw children that were killed in front of their parents, parents that were killed in front of their children, women that were raped, babies that were burned, the only difference between Hamas and Nazis is capabilities. If they were capable to kill all of us, they would have killed all of us in a very brutal way. And the second difference is today the Jews protect themselves by themselves, which we didn't knew in our past and paid tragic prices for that. But today, and it is tough, it's not only soldiers in duty service, it's also fathers, 35, 40, 45 years old, with kids, with businesses, with they're not soldiers. They were soldiers. They are soldiers in reserve. They know how to fight, but they're citizens. And they went 2,000 days a year, 250 days a year to fight in Gaza, to fight in Lebanon, to protect our state in a time of troubles. And I know, and it's an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for hosting us today here, because in this incredible synagogue, in this incredible museum we just saw, this is a very glorious community, a very proud community, a very supportive community to our state. And we know that as much as it was a difficult time for us, it was a difficult time for you. Because what happened during the time when these new Nazis believed they can destroy the Jewish state, anti-Semitism all over the world raised its head, raised its ugly head. And you felt it. I know that. This is why it was important for me to come to here. First of all, to thank you for your support. Secondly, to strengthen you, because we are on the winning side of this campaign, eventually. After 15 months, we changed the balance of power in the Middle East. Bashar Assad would have been in power until this day if Hezbollah and Iran wasn't heated so badly during this war, because they kept him in power during the civil war in Syria. But these the two biggest heads of the Iranian octopus, Hezbollah and Hamas, was dramatically weakened. Dramatically weakened. And if Hassan Nasrallah told, I will not stop, we will not stop sending missiles to Israel as long as there is a war in Gaza, and his successor repeated that, the successor of the successor finally understood it's not worthwhile. And this is why they came to the ceasefire on November. And while Iran was giving declarations during that war, after the attack of the Israeli Air Force on October, took all their air defense of Iran. dramatically heated their capability to their industry, the hugest industry on earth of missiles. Majority of it was heated dramatically last October. And they perfectly understood. So we were able not only to overcome, but to bring back the perception of Israeli power and strength in the region, in the Middle East, and in the whole world. We hadn't finished our problems, we hadn't finished our challenges, but Baruch Hashem, Israel is strong. Israel is invincible because of one reason. We know we cannot afford ourselves to lose one time, because the one time will be the last time. And we know we will have to continue to fight, because in our neighborhood, in this part of the world, we will not be able to survive without fighting for our existence. We are probably before a hostage deal. We were supposed to continue to Budapest, but we will go back to Israel this night, because probably tomorrow we will have the Security Cabinet and government meetings to approve a hostage deal, which probably will be achieved during the next hours. It is not final until it's final, but it looks like it's going to happen. And I want to be very frank with you and honest. It's a very hard decision. It's not an easy decision. When you decide on a release of so many terrorists, including murderers who kill Jews, and you know they want to go back to terrorism after their release. And it's not the only dimension of the agreement. It's not easy decision. Leadership is about to decide between bad decision and very bad decision. Leadership is not about decide between good decision and bad decision, because this is very easy. But here it is a very, very tough decision the Israeli cabinet will have to accept. But we have a commitment. We have a commitment for our brothers. We have a commitment for our sisters. We done our utmost, and we brought home the majority of the hostages. But 98 of them are still there. About half of them may be alive. But if we will postpone the decision, we don't know how many of them will survive. So we have to take a very tough decision, and painful. Also painful for victims of terrorism in Israel. Painful for all the citizens of Israel. But the responsibility for these citizens who were kidnapped from their beds on these days, and the commitment of the government of Israel to bring them home, will direct us in these difficult circumstances. We were here during the last 2 days in Rome. Very successful visit. Friendship between Israel and Italy is strong and stable. It's not that we never have differences. We have differences from time to time. But we have in Rome a friendly government, and we exchange views with Deputy Prime Minister Tajani, with Deputy Prime Minister Salvini, with the Minister of Justice, with the President of the Congress, with our friends in the Senate and in the Congress, with so many people in the political arena, and we broaden our perspective on Middle Eastern issues, but we also made an effort to promote bilateral projects, bilateral relations. Some of the things were in a freeze because of the war, and I believe that in the next weeks and months we will strengthen even more the relations. Deputy Prime Minister Tajani told me he wants to go to Israel next week. Deputy Prime Minister Salvini said he wants to come on February, no? On February. So altogether, I'm sure that relations will be strengthened. What is important is, and what made everything possible, is the fact that Israel is strong. When it is strong, it is respected as an island of stability and strength in a very unstable and dangerous region. And that's what accepted here in Italy, the EU, in the United States. If we were weak, I don't want to continue the sentence. Our dialogue with the European Union will be renewed on February. I'll go to Brussels after years. These association meetings didn't take place. We are going to work from next Monday with a very friendly administration in Washington. And I think that 2025 can be a year of opportunities that we can meet and we should know how to use. But we will always remember that it is because of the IDF soldiers that fought during these 15 months that we exist in Israel and respected abroad. Without the IDF strength and the other security forces, Israel could not exist in the Middle East even for one day. So I know there are things, and we discussed here also with the community leaders, PR aspects, very important to approve. We will work on it. It's commitment. But it's much, much more important to be with the upper hand in the battlefield, because that determines and that we will continue to live in our homeland, which is today a homeland of more than 10 million residents. The Jewish community, when the state was established, was 650,000 people. I don't know of any Western community with such a huge growth in population, in strength, in all the aspects, science, high-tech, culture, whatever. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the strength you are giving us, and we will continue together to work for the future of the Jewish people. בעזרת השם. תודה רבה לכם.